Alright, so 2020 is ending, and that means a new year starting for Grand Cross. But this year for Grand Cross Global has been very, very, I would say strange. It's just been so fast-paced that it all is kind of just a blur. But, yeah, so in this video, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinion on who I think the best units to come out are. I'm not actually going to be using my own box. I'm not going to be using, the database, because I think the database, you know, is good, but I think sometimes it's nice to show off my own box. I have most of the units anyway, just that there's some I'm missing, like Hawk and Oslo, obviously. Just some banners I skipped out on because I didn't want to summon. Ladosio, he is a very, very good unit, and he is also one of the best units to come out on Grand Cross this year, but I'm just not going to summon on his banner. But yeah, other than that, there's not actually any other unit I would say that I'm missing that's in the race for best unit to come out in Grand Cross. Not even like Shin, in all honesty, because Shin is a good farming unit. He can be useful, but we already have a farming team in the Pierce team. So yeah, he's not really on my personal list, but yeah. Only one that I'm missing who is Ladosio. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the units that I have that I think are the best units to come out this year. Starting with Keiko. Keiko is an amazing unit. He is a red unit, and he is very, very strong. He has Cold Destruction on his first skill, and then he also has Blaze on his second, and then he ignites at the start of his turn, right? So every turn that you do, he's going to apply 2 ignites, a maximum of 6 ignites. And then with his ultimate, he can make it go up to, I believe it's 8. Yeah, 8 ignites, which means he is very, very good. The cap is 9 ignites, so you can't go more than 9. So if you have an extra unit who does 1 more ignite, you can get 9 ignites, which is actually really strong. That's actually a very, very strong, useful mechanic, because then you're getting a plus 90% increase to any damage dealt, because ignite increases your damage by 10%. So really, really good there. And then he also has very good substats. 58% crit chance. He has 183% crit damage, 56 pierce rate, which isn't the greatest, but is still fairly decent. He has 94.5% crit defense, 32% crit resistance, 21% lifesteal. So very good all around substats. Very good. I don't think I have any equipment that's helping him. No. So yeah, very, very good. The only thing I would say about this unit is, if the enemy team has someone who can cleanse debuffs, you're pretty much screwed, because both his skills work on his ignites. But other than that, he's really, really good. Top tier unit in the game. And definitely one of the best units to come out on Global Grand Cross. So, of course, Goddess Elizabeth. She is very, very toxic and just pretty much a one-trick pony, in all honesty. But she is, unfortunately, one of the best units to come out in Grand Cross in 2020. I'm not really going to go into her. She's a very toxic unit. She has mechanics which basically glue eats PvP. She's just, all in all, not the most fun unit, but still a very, very good unit to get. If you don't, if you don't care about PvP, she can still be used in PvE content. She's a very high CC unit, and she also has fairly decent substats. So all around, not the worst unit, you know what I mean? But in terms of toxicity, she is very, very much up there. So yeah, there's Goddess Elizabeth for you. The next unit is Red Zell. Red Zeldris is a very, very top tier unit in the game. I think I have his equipment on him. Yeah, I do. So he's a very, very top tier unit in the game. His first skill is an ult depletion move, which rolls back the enemy's ult by 1, 1, and 3, depending on the rank. He also has the second skill, which disables recovery skills, which can come in very, very clutch when you're facing a blue king. His ultimate inflicts spike damage. If you guys don't know what that is, that's 2 times crit damage. Very good. His substats in terms of his attack substats are good. Defense substats are good as well. He's just an overall very good unit. Pierce rate is 43.5%. That's a little low, but It's understandable. His resistance is 71.5%, very high. Regeneration rate, 27%, very good. Crit chance is 77%, which is amazing. His crit damage is 109.7%, but that's because I have crit damage gear on him, giving him a 20% extra buff to his crit damage. His crit resistance is 74% resistance, very good there. Crit defense is 65.5%. Recovery rate 157, lifesteal 121%. Very, very good there. I think he's an amazing unit. He's a very fun unit. Can be used on many teams. Mainly though, Droll is his best friend right now. So yeah, that's a very good team's concept right there. Overall, very, very good unit. Blue Zell, same thing. Blue Zell, unfortunately, does need a lot of support in order to crit. But when he does crit, he's a very, very fun unit because his first skill has Spike, and that is an amazing skill. Just does so much damage. He also has Despair, which recovers his HP by 15% when he uses when he inflicts a critical strike on the enemy. And then his ultimate is the same exact one as the Red Zeldris. And then his commandment, both the commandments, I forgot to mention this for Red Zell. If you move a card, you can literally just remove all debuffs on you, which is very, very good, right? And his substats are good as well. 45% crit resistance or pierce rate, resistance is 70%, regeneration is 23.3%, crit chance 87% crit chance, which is very good. Crit damage is 182%. That's very good on a crit damaging, crit based unit. And then his resistance and defense for crits, 70% crit resistance, 60% crit defense. Very good right there. Recovery rate 155.5%, and then lifesteal is 124.5%. So very, very good. I don't think I have any equipment boosting him. No, I do not. Very, very good there. Just an amazing unit all around. Estarossa, same thing. Estarossa is a very good unit, although his literally main mechanic is just full counter. So once you get off that full counter, he's going to be an exceptional unit. Very, very top tier. I do love Estarossa. Very good. His first skill inflicts charge damage, single hitting target, which is good. Blackout literally gives you an extra turn for free, so if you get that, you're looking really good in the match. And then his passive is actually really good too. You become debuff immune for 2 turns if you use a stance, and this is for all allies. This also works on the back, so just an amazing unit. Very good there. And then you guys can see the substats. I'm not going to say all the substats just for time's sake. We're already at almost 8 minutes into the video, so yeah, here are his substats. You guys can take a look. Very, very good substats, especially his lifesteal, which goes into his full counter, because every time you full counter, you get HP back. So very good there. Derriere as well. Derriere is a very good unit. First skill just does pure damage, but at rank 3, 600% damage is nothing to laugh at. She also has this skill, which gives her evasion on rank 2, and then increases her basic stats by 10 or 20, 30, and then 50% depending on the rank. And then her ultimate has Amplify, which means every buff that she has is increasing this ultimate's damage by 30%. So it's a very, very good skill. And then her passive increases her attack by 10% per skill used. And then you can go ahead and look at her substats. Fairly decent. I mean, there's really nothing here that's too crazy or wild, but still very, very good. And then her commandment, which is, it's okay, decreases the damage of ranged skills by 35% in PvP. So if you use any ranged techniques, it's going to be reduced by 35%. But I mean, I guess that's fine, but it's nothing too crazy. Joel, amazing unit. What can I say? He's just really, really good. He's able to cut Goddess Elizabeth with his skill 2, which disables buff and debuff skills. Has Detonate, which is a very strong single hitting attack, but depending on the enemy's alt move or alt gauge level. And then his resistance is really, really, really insane. 81.5% resistance. And then if you link him with Gloxinia, it's literally over 100%. It's actually crazy. And then his crit resistance is 96%. His crit defense is 23.5%. So if he does get critted, he's going to take a fair amount of damage. Yeah, so keep that in mind. And then, yeah, his life still 6%, but very, very good unit. His why did I say it like that? His passive is Shackles, which disables the enemy's alt move basically they can't use their ultimate for 2 turns unless they have someone who can cleanse it. And then his commandment increases resistance by 30%, and you can stack this up to 3 times, so basically a 90% resistance for 3 turns, which is absolutely insane. All right, so from this point in the video, I'm just going to go over all the units, and I'm going to click on them, but unless I don't really know what they do in my mind. But yeah, so we got Escanor. Escanor is also a very top tier unit. You guys already know that. Very strong. He's been out for almost a year, and he is still viable in PvP. In JP, he's still sort of viable, but although he does see a lot less usage, but still very, very good for PvE content as well. Blue Demon Meliodas, Pierce, basically the Pierce Prince. I have to give the Pierce God title to probably Rugal, but he's still amazing. Passive doesn't allow him to be attack disabled, so in PvP he can still use attacks no matter what. Very good unit. Has corrosion, weakness on his ult, good. Lost Vein, do I need to say anything more about Lost Vein? You crit him, you basically screw yourself over. His ultimate has secret technique damage, so the more cards of his you have in your hand, the more damage it does. He has an AoE charge which ignores defense, which is really insane. Very, very good unit. I would say no, not Red Merlin. So Green Gouther. Green Gouther literally came out literally a little bit over a month ago. Like probably one of the best, no, he is the best supporting unit in the game because of his passive. If you guys don't know, if you have 3 or more different races, Gouther's passive kicks in and it gives you a 35% increase to attack related stats after 5 turns, which is very good. He has a dissolve card which comes in clutch if you're trying to gatekeep the enemy from getting their ult. And then he also has the same thing as the Red Gouther, which is the rank up. And speaking about the Red Gouther, same thing. They are basically the same unit, and except a few minor differences, but Gouther has attack disabled on his first skill, whereas the green one has dissolve. They both have the rank up. Their ultimates are exact same, and their passive differ because the green Gouther's passive works a lot better because you can take damage. With the Red Gouther, it only increases attack by 10%, and you literally cannot take damage. So yeah, if you take damage, the passive literally resets, so it's borderline useless. So yeah, both very, very good units. Red King and Blue King, I would say too. Red King more so for his passive. He has fallen off because no one really uses Pierce team, but I would say he was still one of the best units to come out because people really did want to summon on his banner. It was actually really crazy because the moment he came out, Pierce team basically got cucked. It was funny. Blue Fairy King, same thing. Blue Fairy King is a very, very good unit, and he is still viable. Has a AoE ultimate which does shatter, can purify, can heal, can, you know, petrify units. Very good unit. Valenti has fallen off, but she is still, I would say, one of the best units to come out in Grand Cross Global of 2020 because her passive, it does the same thing basically as King's, but I would say hers is a little better because she can build up her resistance, and the more resistance she has, the less pierce rate an enemy will have. So you can give her equipment and she'll be looking really, really good. And then besides that, she also has an attack lowering skill which decreases attack related stats, but unfortunately her attack is pretty like abysmal because she's a defense unit. So yeah, she's really good too. Rugal, same thing. Rugal is a Pierce God, literally just Pierce. That's literally all he's there for, is just Pierce. His passive allows him to increase all his stats by 15% if he takes 50% and under damage. Very, very good there. Let's see. I would say Red Escanor, definitely Red Escanor. Blue Lilia as well. Who else is a very good unit of 2020? I can't just give it to anyone either. Oh, there's a plane if you guys can hear it. I don't want to just give it to anyone. I would probably actually say maybe Blue Arthur. Blue Arthur is a very good unit. Red Arthur definitely because the mono red team. He also has a support buff, which is not just good for PvP, good for PvE as well. He also increases humans, I believe, HP related stats by 15%. So yeah, very good there. Green Merlin because she can be run on a sub to alt rush, so she's pretty good. Let's see, what else? Who else is there? Hauser's Hauser was good, but I don't know if I would say he was one of the best units of 2020, but I definitely say he is still very good in PvE. So there you go. Actually, that might just be it. there's not too many. When I say like top units of 20, I mean like top units. Like they're Ludocio, obviously Ludocio is also one of those characters who were really, really good. He's just a wailing unit, so you have to keep that in mind as well. But yeah, other than that, I would say those are pretty much my personal top picks for, you know, the top units that came out in 2020. I mean, maybe if you wanted to say, I could see I could see Monspeed. It's very hard though, because Monspeed was one of the worst units in the game until Keiko came out, so it's very hard to give him that spot. But yeah, I guess you could say Fighter Diane as well. She's very tanky. She can be used to stop people in their tracks, so she's very, very good as well. Maybe if you wanted to say Levi, I could see that as well, because he crits like crazy. Even if you wanted to say, I guess, Red Merlin, because she has freeze, she can disable recovery skills. I was just hesitant to put her on there, but yeah. So I guess if you wanted to say that, Blue Easton, you know what, Blue Easton too. Blue Easton definitely deserves that title of top units that came out in 2020, because she has a attack related stats buff card. She has an AoE attack which can increase her ult gauge. She also increases her own, I believe it's attack. Let me see. Oh, increases her basic stats by 5% for each buff on allies and enemies. So very, very good there. So she's good as well. I guess maybe you could even say Frauderin, but he's fallen off a lot. Like, no one really uses him. He has fallen off a lot. Now, especially since Ludocio's out, it's like, yeah, man, it's just no. But nah, I honestly probably wouldn't even say he is. He's very, very good if you wail on him, I guess. But again, he's fallen off, man. So I would not put him there. Who else? That's pretty much it, man. There's not really, when you look at it, there's not too many like crazy top tier SSRs. Like, actually, I mean, obviously you can make any unit good, like if you really, really put your heart into it. But other than that, like I'm talking about base, not too many. Really, really not too many. It's pretty crazy. Maybe Zerathras, because Zerathras can be good on PvE. Green King too, maybe you could put him up there, I think. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's gonna be it for my list. So pretty much a couple of units, and that is it. But hopefully 2021 gives us some crazy units, because we are gonna get Sariel, the one Tarmiel. We're gonna get some good units, guys. Don't worry, we're gonna get some good units. So, and the year's not over. Obviously, Festival King is another very good unit, so he'll be coming out for Christmas, I believe. So yeah, keep that in mind. But yeah, guys, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribe for more Grand Cross content. Also, be sure to join our Discord. We would love to have you. But with that said, I will see you guys in the next video.